What's going on YouTube? This is Joe the 50 something Dasher recapping my gig work activities for Monday, December 30th, 2024. And I tell you what, man, this was pretty interesting today. Have some stories in this one, let me tell you. Um First, real quick, I won't spend much time on this, but yesterday after the last video, my wife and I did go back out in the late afternoon, early evening to try to do some gig work. We just did like one shipped order for, I think it was like $11. Had a couple substitution issues with that on like a some kind of energy drink or something, and then some other kind of drink mix stuff. I forget what it was called, but something that I've never used before. But customer wasn't responding, and we had to choose our own substitutions. And I didn't receive any blowback on it or anything, but and no tip on that, at least not so far. So I've done 5 shipped orders and have not received a tip on any of those. And then we did. I was logged in. I was logged into DoorDash for like 22 minutes. That's all, and did 2 deliveries for like $13. One of them was like, I think the Burger King was first. It was two bacon cheeseburgers that I picked up. We like crossed the street to deliver them, and then I got a Taco Bell. So then we came back across the street again to Taco Bell, pick that up, and that delivered like a mile and a half away. And we was trying to get a good juicy like Instacart order. My wife had that open, and we only saw like 1 or 2 decent orders, and but other people took them before we got a chance to accept them, so we didn't get a chance to do Instacart. Anyway, now to today's dash, and subject of the video, if you've been watching my videos for a while now, you'll know that I'm an early riser and I like to work the early mornings up until lunchtime. So usually 9 times out of 10, when I start my gig work in the mornings, it's still dark out. And I've probably talked about this before, but I have my issues from time to time driving when it's dark. I'm, obviously an extremely old individual. My eyesight's not what it used to be, so I have some issues. I have issues with car headlights. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And anybody in their 50s on up can relate, I'm sure. But usually it's not a big deal for me because I prefer not to drive when it's dark. But we're only talking an hour or two, and traffic isn't that heavy yet. So for the most part, I manage. Not on this first order for today. So 617, you see this Starbucks for 703. Now initially I declined this, and then so 6 minutes later they've added $4 to it. I get it again, and this time I go ahead and take it. Just as a side note here, I will say that from what I've noticed in recent weeks, like Uber doesn't mess around with increasing the amounts to get orders taken. This was $4 in just 6 minutes. Like I told the story yesterday about Shipt. They in a half hour's time they only added $1, and then it took like 40 minutes before like the next dollar. And then so I've seen DoorDash before where they'll only raise it like 25 cents at a time or something like that. Like I said, Uber is boom, 5 minutes later, they'll add $3 or $4. So I give them credit here. So I go to this Starbucks, no problems. The order was ready. Okay, so I head down to Orient. And what happened is I get down there and I make my turn off the main highway. Now, the customer instructions, all it said was um, uh, such and such colored house at the front. Okay, at the front of what? What are we talking about? Could you be a little bit more specific? So what happened was it's pitch black. Okay, now once I get off that main highway and I turn off of that and I drive down maybe not very far, 300 feet, and I come to this intersection and I couldn't tell if this was. And roads were kind of going in different directions. It wasn't like a standard like intersect. It might have even been a five-way, and I couldn't tell because it was so dark. But GPS was having me turn left. Okay, so as soon as I turn left and go past the length of like one house, I'm trying to, now looking at, I know the house is near that intersection. I at least know that. Okay, so after I go past like one house length, GPS reroutes, and now all of a sudden I see this long, like 3.5 mile route on my phone. I'm like, no, wait a minute. I was routed to this intersection. The house is supposed to be like right here. And, for the most part, I don't have that much problems. I mean, GPS will a lot of times, most of the time, will tell you like exactly which like street or driveway to turn on. I mean, it's really accurate. But not here. And so what I had to do was I had to back up. I like backed my car up and backed into the driveway of some house or whatever. I get out of my car and I walk up to one house and look at the address. It's close but not the right one. Next house over is the numbers getting smaller. I'm getting closer. And I happen to notice where the mailboxes were that I was parked at. I saw the mailbox for my customer, but the problem was there was like five other mailboxes. So like five mailboxes sitting right there. So the mailbox wasn't helping me with the actual location of the house. Long story short, right in front of me was a house the color of what was in the description or in the customer's instructions. So I figure, okay, this must be the house. And when they're in their instructions, when they say the house in the front, maybe they meant when you drive up to that intersection, it's the house right like in front of you. But I tell you what, that could have been worded a whole lot better. Now, in the past, some customers put too much information. They'll say, okay, when you come in on this street, turn down this street, and then you turn down that street. And you don't need to say all that because GPS tells you what streets to go on. So some customers put too much information. This customer should have been more specific. When you come off the main road onto such and such turn or whatever, and you hit that intersection, look straight ahead. That's my house. Or not the such and such color house in front. Okay, in front of what? That's not helping me. And another thing that irritates me is that, in my opinion, and to me, this is just common sense and doing the right, responsible thing as an American citizen. But I mean, come on, like everybody. I don't care who you are, anybody that has something delivered to their home, everybody should do their due diligence and get on the most popular GPS tracking apps and GPS, like when they're away from their home, they need to use GPS to get to their own home. I've got experience with this, with where I live right now. I'm the one that had to set it up. I'm paying $5 million a month rent for this apartment, and you would think somebody would do that type of thing for the residents, but no, I'm the one that had to do it. I had to contact Google, I had to contact Apple, I contacted all the GPS providers. And I took pictures of my home and the street signs and all this. And I set up the GPS for this apartment. So I knew, I got onto GPS after it was set up to see, how exactly it routed people to this apartment. I used it for myself. That way I know that, okay, if GPS, once somebody turns down here, GPS does this and this and this, so I better put this and that instructions in there. And thanks a lot to this Starbucks customer for not doing that. It's just irritating. I'm sorry for getting worked up over some, I'll shut up. I'll shut up. That's irritating. So I made my $11 the hard way. I also had a hard time. Another thing too is like a lot of different neighborhoods and stuff like that. So does people not know about there's such a thing as street lights? I don't understand, why were there no street lights at this intersection? I don't get it. I have to drive into this customer's driveway. It's like it's a dirt road basically. It's not paved at all, and I have to back out of that completely, totally blind. I hate doing that. I hardly ever have to do this. Drive blind. Had to back out of there, but I even had to open my car door to make sure I was still on the dirt road and not driving in the grass. It was bad. It was bad. And then I think I took a screenshot here. This is when the delivery completed. So 6:23 to 6:48, 25 minutes. And I was glad to be out of there onto the main road and got the hell out of Dodge. This next order wasn't all that much better. Still dark out. 6:55 in the morning. Got this 1350 Meyer. Only 4 items. I'm almost out. You see here, I'm almost a Meyer. So yeah, let's go ahead. I know it's going out east to Groveport, but whatever. Here's your items here. Doesn't get much easier on a shop. 2 boxes of cereal, a 2 liter of Coke. The thing not pictured here is a gallon of milk. Breeze through the store, 2 minutes, whatever. I had this shopped off to the customer. And so I get out to Groveport, and the one thing that I was fortunate about this one, this customer was practically sitting on the main highway. So I really didn't have to leave the highway. But again, it's pitch black. Again, no street lights. So I'm coming up to this customer, and GPS has me turn to the left, and I turn my car right where it says to turn. I'm just completely following GPS because I don't see like a driveway there whatsoever. I don't see anything. I don't see what I'm delivering to even. I don't see any buildings. Like it's that freaking black where I'm at. I didn't have my glasses on, but even with my glasses on, I wouldn't have seen any of this stuff. I can guarantee you that. I go to turn, and okay, so I can finally see some buildings when I hit like the driveway, and I shit you not, what it looked like to me was it looked like storage units. This like structures in front of me looked almost exactly like public storage units. Oh, what in the world? Am I delivering to somebody living out of a storage unit, or what's going on here? And I, make a left-hand turn and get closer, and I see the customer's unit number. No, these were apartments. I was freaked the crap out of me. I'm not trying to be funny or mean or anything here. I know people, I'm understanding that people's different living situations, but I could not believe that these were apartments. And the other thing too is that the buildings were so like short. Like, I'm a 6 foot tall person. I'm thinking to myself, would I have been able to like walk into this place and stood up and not have my head hit the ceiling? And that's how low these buildings look to me. And it was crazy. I before here, I lived in a studio apartment, and the building for my studio, I mean, it looked like a mansion compared to these things. I guess that's because it was, even though it was a studio, I had an attic above me. It was like a partially finished, attic, which was kind of nice. But yeah, you know, and okay, so there's my two dark deliveries for this morning. And is, jacked up, and especially on the first one, as treacherous as that was, I'm now done with those and now can move on to bigger and hopefully brighter things here. I mean, my gosh, man. So there you see on that. What did this take me? This took me 27 minutes and 8.50, and then a $5 tip for 13.50. I I just took I was browsing, waiting on an order, browsing through the shipped orders. I took a screenshot of this. Could you imagine if I would have attempted to shop this order? Check out the items here. Look at this. Got all women's clothing. 4 items. You got a sweatshirt, women's leg pants, sheer rib tights, and a velvet mini A-line dress or whatever. I wouldn't have stood a chance. But just before starting this video, I thought, well, actually, I could have, in theory, I could have successfully shopped this, but what I would have had to do, I would have had to track down a female associate, and they would have had to find each one of these things for. There's no way I could have just strolled into some women's department at Target and found these things. Not happening. I can shop, and then I'll get to that here, like in this video. I can shop, but I can't shop everything. Next, so I took this at 744, so 1775, 9 mile, 12 item Meyer. Why not? Going back east again, but and we'll get to my mileage for the. It seems like, you know, it felt like I drove 200 miles today. Like I said, you'll be surprised probably at what my actual mileage was at the end of the video. This one's delivering clear out to, Atlantic City, New Jersey. But hey, let's go back out east. I'm game. Here's at least part of the list here. You got a 24 pack of water. And actually, this wasn't so. But other than the water, I think all this other stuff fit in just like 2 sacks. I mean, it's pretty simple. And I had this 2 consecutive orders in a row that I couldn't. I was in like a bad signal area for 2 straight deliveries, and I did not get the payout screenshot. It just went like the order completely cleared out because of my bad signal, and I didn't get, where I usually take a screenshot of the breakdown. But on this one, it was $8.75 from DoorDash and a $9 tip. Completed at 8:16, so it took me about a half hour. You might as well say, to make $17. So that's a really good order there. Half hour start to finish. I went ahead and took this. Gotta love the hidden tip orders. 650 hidden, and I'm driving and I'm about to pass IHOP. I'm like, you can see on the screenshot, I'm right there when I get this. So it's only 2 miles. Heck yeah. Um, Walk in there. The lady was actually bringing it out to the front right when I walk in. Perfect timing. Got the order. So I delivered that. Like I said, again, 2 straight orders. Didn't get the screenshot. So this took me 13 minutes, and it paid $7. So $2 from DoorDash, $5 tip. So they hid 50 cents from me. I probably forgot to mention one of my 2 DoorDash orders last night. That hidden tip on that, and it was 75 cents hidden. Stupid. And today, I get a 50-cent hidden tip. Whatever. But still, I mean, still an easy order that I knocked out in 13 minutes. Okay, I declined this. Yeah, it's 21 bucks. It's going up to Galloway, but and 36 items. This was a little bit. This order kind of scared me, and I went ahead and declined it. And it might have been about around this point. Yeah, it was like right around that time frame where I just decided to head home. So I came back here, and the usual, went to the bathroom, walked the dog. I think I was, might have been just about ready to like head outside with him when this comes across. $7, 13 miles, Lowe's. I wonder, yeah, oh, I had to shop that. I see that now on the screenshot. So yeah, not doing that. So 706, remember that. It's coming up again. $8, 7 miles. No, this one right here. So I must got that first one like in the bathroom. Then at 8:54, I remember now that this order is when I was just like about to walk out the door with my dog. $8, 7 miles. No, I'm going to decline this and take him out. So then I get that Lowe's again. Again, in just 5 minutes, they've added $3 to it. So now it's a $10 order. But it's still upside down. $10, 13 and a half miles. So I'm still declining it. And then at this point, I went ahead and shut Uber off. Um, I might have had it shut off the rest of the morning after that, I think. Um, 10 mile Burger King, going south. I mean, it's not horrible, but um, I went ahead and declined that one. Uh, got a much better offer here. This is pretty good. $23. Well, 23.50, 14 miles. And one of them is out east, but not too far east. It's going to be like South High area. So this isn't like too bad. I only got a shop for six things, so I went ahead and took it. So that's a 907. Customer A is just a thing of trash bags, and then you see, so it's only five different items to shop for. And then you got some coffee cakes here. Like these were kind of like, I don't know, like pound cake type things. Or the multiple was that coffee, and then and a 4 pack of Red Bull. And I just remembered something to mention about the Red Bull here in a second. So I'm shopping this first thing right here, these coffee cakes, and you don't see this very often, but I got this message where the barcode would not scan. It did not recognize that barcode whatsoever. And so it, and then it gives you, you see here, it gives you the option to search for the item. So I did a search, like, coffee cakes or whatever I typed in, and found the the count size the customer requested was not there. They had a larger size. I should have specified that in the story here, but they had a larger size, like a 12 count instead of an 8 count or something like that. The 12 count barcode wouldn't recognize. It said to search for the item, keyword search. I did the search, and that item did not locate in the list, so technically you can't substitute with that. So what I had to do was, in that aisle, I think it was like $4.99 for the larger size. Well, first of all, I sent a image shelf picture of the larger size to the customer. And so here you see it right here, and the generic message, would you like a substitute? And then there's my picture of the what they did have. So it was a 14 pack. They must have requested like an 8 or 10, I don't remember. And then you see the response here. Customer says sure, and then that's when I go to scan it and the barcode won't recognize. And then so I found something that was the same price. It was this larger size box of oatmeal cream pies, and I scanned that, and you see here, before I could even type my message of what was going on, the customer quickly sends that message. What's the oatmeal pie for? And then I said, the UPC for the 14 count coffee cakes was not in the system. I had to scan something for the same price, but you're still going to get the coffee cakes. And then you see there, okay, thank you. Um, and like this is rare. This is rare. You won't probably hardly ever. I've only run into something like this. I've been dashing a couple years now. I maybe once, maybe twice before I've ran into something like this. Um, I get this right here. This was after I've checked out and I'm on my way to the first customer. I get this 450 Taco Bell adding an additional 3 month. This just isn't worth even bothering with. I got 2 deliveries to make, and I'm not adding this into the mix for $4. um, and then I delivered the trash bags. That was going to Pizza Hut. So Pizza Hut must have ran out of trash bags. This was the fastest way to get some, and and much thanks to the customer on this one. I've talked about this before, but customers that's in like a business, it's very helpful. Put the name of the business in the instructions. So I check out. I go to look at my first customer, I see the address, and then the instructions, it says Pizza Hut. Know exactly where I'm going. Thanks a lot. You know, not all customers that work in businesses do that. And the best thing to do there that I would recommend is if I know an address is in a like a commercial area, I just pull up my web browser on my phone and I just do a search on that address, and then it'll pull up what the business is. That's the best thing to do for that. But when they put it in the instructions, you don't have to. So then I completed. I dropped off the trash bags, then went and delivered the other order, and that finished at 9:56. So what is that? So 49 minutes. I made $23. So staying on pace with it, making over the $20 an hour. So 23.50 in 49 minutes. Did good there on that one. So that was at 9:56. Um, After that second drop off, I was heading home. I kind of wanted to be done by around 11. And at that point, I was heading home, and I've done this before. Like, okay, so all I had on was DoorDash. And I was like, okay, if I get home and I don't get anything, then I'm just going to log off. But if I'm driving on my way home and something comes up worth my while, I'll go ahead and take it. And like I'm getting off the exit, I'm back in Grove City, and I get this right here at 10:05. You don't see this very often. You don't see shopping orders paying at least like $40. At least I don't on DoorDash. Only a couple times before have I seen an offer this high on a shopping order. Only 7 miles I got to put on my car. Okay, I get it. It is 52 items. Okay, but I decided to chance it. And you know what? I was going to try. I want to kind of challenge myself here. What do you guys think if I was able to do this or not? I was going to try. I probably was not going to be able to do this, but I wanted to attempt to have this done start to finish in like 1 hour. I wasn't far from that giant eagle. I was getting off the exit. I was less than a mile. Okay, that was just going to take 5 minutes to get in from where I was at to get inside the store, and and race through that store and get this shop done as fast as I could. Maybe it wouldn't be too bad. Maybe there'd be multiples. Bust out these deliveries. They're like in zone, or one of them's just outside a zone. Let's go for it. Let's go for an hour. So I get in there and I'm flying through that store. So 10:05. Here's the breakdown. So you got cut, and out of what was it, 52 items, there's 36 things to shop for. So that's good, right? I don't have over 50 things to shop. I just got 36 things to shop for. So I know there's multiples. Um, so the bulk of it is customer A. They've got 29 different items, and then customer B just has 7 different things. So my shopping cart, I had the seat was customer B. Okay, so 10:07, I'm at the store. Okay, um, and okay, so here's the screenshot of when I finished the shopping. So 33 minutes. Would have been nice if I could have done it like under a half hour, but still, I was fast on this, as far as I'm concerned. 33 minutes, 50. I keep forgetting 51, 52. Why do I keep forgetting that? 52 items, 33 minutes. Boom. And that was what it wasn't, there was some hiccups in there. I had some chicken where I scanned it and it said, no, you didn't get a big enough pack, get one that weighs this. This produce, like, and I apologize to the cashier, but I tried to mess around with the produce weighing machine and I couldn't get it to work. I would have printed my own labels for this, but I couldn't. There was some Aussie shampoo where I was supposed to buy a set, and they didn't have the sets. They had shampoo and conditioner separately, but they didn't have like the 2-pack set. Even though the app said it was supposed to be there and quote unquote many in stock. Well, I sure didn't see them. Might have been in the back room. So that one, the customer had to be messaged for a substitution. I went about the rest of the shopping, and then they came back with a substitute. I had to go back to that aisle. Um, but other than that, most everything else was just like bam, 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 bam. Scan everything, found everything, scanned everything, boom, boom. It just went pretty quick. And look at this right here. Look at that sucker. I they this and the customer A. This was a heavy order. You only see 2 of these 6 packs of Diet Coke. There's 4 of them. So I had 2 hanging off here, 2 hanging off the other side of the cart. This like 25-pound thing of cat litter. I mean, this is practically overflowing. And then customer B was the ramen, some produce you can barely see, and then the water down here. But I tell you what, and I told my wife over the phone before starting this video that she was going to have to watch this video, but I'm telling you right now, she likes to think that she's a better shopper than I am. Well, yeah, maybe on that Target women's clothing order, okay? Yeah, maybe at Bath and Body Works, I'll give her that. Maybe at TJ Maxx or, any kind of women's clothing store, anything like that. I'll give her all that. But I'm telling you right now, grocery shopping, okay? She can say whatever she wants. She would not have done this. So look at that bad boy. She would not have shopped that order in 33 minutes. I'm telling you right now, would not have happened. And, I said I'm the grocery shopper here. Regardless of what anybody tries to tell you, it's right here. I'm telling you. That's why I'm prioritized on them. Hey, maybe on DoorDash, if she did enough orders, she could get prioritized on shopping orders too. But I don't know. It's kind of a long shot. But hey, that's skill right there. I'm telling you right now, that is skill. I took this next screenshot. This is what time I finished like checking out. Went right up to a cash register, didn't have to wait in line, a staffed cash register. And the cashier was pretty fast at like scanning the items. Um, Not so much at bagging. I was really slow. I had to help her with the bagging, but got that done at like 10:50. So 11:05 is the 1 hour mark, and so I'm checked out at 10:50. I still got 15 minutes before that 1 hour. Now realistically, I'm not going to get two deliveries dropped off in just 15 minutes. Especially one of them was going out east, so I'm going to miss that 1 hour target. But hey, I still did really good on this. So that was at 10:50. So it took me, what is this, 24 minutes. That's pretty good. So one of them was more or less in zone, maybe technically just outside of it. The first customer, the large order. And that customer was like super, super nice. It was this lady that I pulled in and was looking for the address, and I seen her. She was standing out in front of the apartment on the sidewalk. I backed my car up into a parking spot, and I had told myself, if unless I'm able to park right in front of the customer's door, I'm using my wagon on this. I know because you had the cat litter, you had those 4 pops. I had both catering bags full. I had the big, huge thing of paper towel, or it was paper towels or toilet paper. I'm using the wagon. So like I said, unless I was able to pull up right in front of the door, like red roof in, bottom level, motel unit style, unless it was like that, I pull in. I asked her where her apartment was, and she said it's the one like kind of like down this sidewalk in the back. I said, okay, well let me get I'm gonna get my wagon then. I open up my back passenger door, and it's not there. I completely forgot that over Christmas, I took the wagon out of my car, put it in the garage because, to load up the car for Christmas. And I even still have not put it back in my car yet. I'll do that after this video. But I didn't have my wagon. But it was no big deal. She helped me. She grabbed like the cat litter and the paper towels. I grabbed the 2 catering bags. She was like, "Oh, you got the nice, big bags there." It was funny, and I'm telling you, those catering bags, they're a good investment. Any gig workers watching this video that don't have catering bags, you can use them for lots of things, not just catering orders, but some of the larger orders from restaurants that don't fit in a regular hot bag. You can use it for that. I use them all the time for my shopping orders. Um, and they like Giant Eagle. They use the paper sacks, and same with Aldi's. But each of those catering bags, they'll hold 3 of those paper sacks. So I had this order was in 6 sacks. Use both catering bags, and they impress the customers. They're always impressed when they see those bags. So, as I said, it's a good investment. And so we took that stuff to our apartment, then came back and got the 4 Diet Cokes and then so pretty painless drop off. I go out to South High area, deliver the second one. There you see the breakdown: $13 from DoorDash, $25 tip on the first customer, and the second customer tipped $2. You know, thanks a lot. It is what it is. They had not as nearly as heavy of an order as the other one, but there was a 24 pack of water in that. I had to take the for that second customer. Of course, I had to take the water up to the front, porch first, come back out, and then I had their two um, sacks, one each, and two of my delivery bags. So I had to come back out of the car, get those two delivery bags, go up to the front porch, and and a $2 tip from that. And that's not the worst of it. So I'll get to that here in a second. So again, all total, so 10:05 when I got the initial offer and and had everything done start to finish in an hour and 9 minutes. Awesome. 1 hour, 9 minutes, start to finish. I had $40. So pretty sweet. And then, so then I log off, and here's the, I guess I could close these out. And then the dash summary. Um, so logged into DoorDash for close to 4.5 hours, did 7 deliveries, $101.75. And Uber was just the one delivery for 11:03. So all total, I didn't think I was going to make goal today, stopping early, but I made $112.78. And I couldn't believe the mileage. 87 miles is what I drew. It felt like 287 miles. All the trips to, like, I had the trip to Orient and then 2 trips to the east side. And I mean, but yeah, just 87 miles. So that worked out. This isn't the last screenshot. So I deliver that, as you see here, deliver that to that second customer. Here, take a screenshot of my dash summary and log out. Boom. Okay, now I'm driving away to go get something to eat and head home. And as I'm driving down, the street away from the customer, I see a push notification that says, from that last customer, I didn't get my water. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I'm done. I'm logged out and everything. Are you really telling me that I gotta pull off to the side of the road here somewhere to message this low tipping customer about a case of water? Are you kidding me right now? So I pull the car off into some crummy, scary looking tire service center and stop my car and to send that message. It's in the front door. And before I pulled away, when I was taking my last couple screenshots, I saw a boy, a kid. He's probably like, I don't know, 10 or 11 years old. He's the one that I saw him open the door, and then I saw him take the 2 sacks in, and then he shuts all the doors and like the water's sitting there. And so I sent this message. I said, it's in front of the door. The boy only took the sacks inside your house. And then right after I sent that, sorry, I see it. So irritating. So irritating. And then I close this out, and then I was able to make my way back to zone, get something to eat, and come here. So that's it for this dash. It was an adventure today. start my new shift back to my new slash my old position at the W-2. Start that tomorrow morning. So now, like I said before, now my dash days are going to be Saturday, Sunday, Monday from now on. Unless, on a Tuesday through Friday, unless I happen to get out, more than like an hour and a half or so early. I might jump on for a couple hours here and there. It just depends. Uh, we'll see. We'll live to dash another day. Anyway, thanks again so much for watching. As always, be sure to drive safe out there, and we'll catch you at the next video. Take care, everyone.